Hello, Robs. We're back with Tamar by Robinson Jeffers, 1924 narrative poem. 4. When Ginny Caldwell slept, the old woman with the child's mind, then Stella Moreland, invoked her childish-minded dead, or lying blank-eyed in the dark egged on her dreams to vision, suffering for lack of audience, tasting the ecstasy of vision. This was the vaporous portion she endured her life, in the strength of, in the sea-shaken loneliness, little loved, nursing an idiot, growing bitterly old among the wind-torn Lobos cypress trunks. O torture of needled branches doubled and gnarled, never a moment of quiet, the north wind or the south wind or the northwest. For up and down the coast they are tall and terrible horsemen on patrol, alternate giants guarding the granite and sand frontiers of the last ocean. But here at Lobos the winds are torturers, the old trees endure them. They blew always thwart the old woman's dreams, and sometimes by her bedside stood the south in russety black, the north in white. But the northwest, wave green, sea brilliant, scaled like a fish. She had also the sun and moon and mightier presences in her visions. Tamar entered the room toward morning and stood ghost-like among the old woman's ghosts. The rolled-up eyes, dull white, with little spindles of iris touching the upper lids, played back the girl's blown candle, sightlessly. But the spirit of sight, that the eyes are tools and it made them, saw her. Ah, Helen, cried out the entranced lips, we thought you were tired of the wind. We thought you never came now. My sister's husband lies in the next room. Go waken him. Show him your beauty. Call him with kisses. He is old, and the spittle when he dreams runs into his beard. But he is your lover and your brother. I am not Helen, she said. What Helen? What Helen? Who was not the wife, but the sister of her man? Mine was his wife. My mother? And now he is an old hulk battered ashore. Show him your beauty. Strip for him, Helen, as when he made you a seaweed bed in the cave. What if the beard is slimy and the eyes run? Men are not always young and fresh like you dead women. But Tamar, clutching the plump hand on the coverlet, scratched it with her nails. The old woman groaned but would not awaken, and Tamar held the candle flame against the hand. The soot striped it. Then, with a scream, the old woman awoke, sat up, and fell back rigid on the bed. Tamar found place for the candle on a little table at the bedside. Her freed hands could not awaken a second answer in the flesh that now, for all its fatness, felt like a warm stone. But the idiot waked and chuckled, waved both hands at the candle, saying, my little star, come, little star. And to these three old Caldwell, sighing with sleeplessness, entered, not noticed. And he stood in the open door. Tamar was bending over the bed. Loose hair like burnished metal concealed her face, and sharply cut across one rounded shoulder. The thin nightdress had slipped from. The old man her father feared, for a ghost of law-contemptuous youth slid through the chilly vaults of the stiff arteries. And he said, what is it, Tamar? She was screaming in a dream. I came to quiet her. Now she has gone stiff like iron. Who is this woman Helen she was dreaming about? Helen, Helen, he answered slowly, and Tamar believed she saw the beard and the hands tremble. It's too cold for you, Tamar. Go back to bed, and I'll take care of her. A common name for women. Old Ginny clapped her hands. Little star, twinkle all night. And the stiff form on the bed began to speak, in a changed voice and from another mode of being and spirit of thought. I cannot think that you have forgotten. I was walking on the far side of the moon, whence everything is seen but the earth, and never forgot. This girl's desire drew me home. We also had wanted too near our blood, and to tangle the inner branching net of generations with a knot sideways. Desires the arrow sprayer and shoots into the stars. Poor little Tamar, he gave you a luckless name in memory of me, and now he is old, forgets mine. You are that, Helen, said Tamar, leaning over the fat shape the quiet and fleshless voice seemed issuing from. A sound of youth from the old puffed lips. What, Helen? This man's sister, this body was saying? But as much more as you are of your brother. Why, laughed Tamar, trembling. Hundreds of nasty children do it, and we nothing but children. Then the old man, lies, 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 no ghost, a lying old woman. Your Aunt Helen died white as snow. She died before your mother died. Your mother and this old woman always hated her. This liar, as they hated me. I was too hard a nature to die of it. Lily and Stella. It makes me nothing, my darling sin, a shadow, and me a doll on wires, thought Tamar with one half her spirit, and the other half said, poor lies, words without meaning, poor Aunt Stella. The voices in her have no minds. Poor little Tamar, murmured the young voice from the swollen cavern. Though you are that woman's daughter, if we dead could be sorrowful for anyone but ourselves, I would be sorrowful for you. A trap so baited was laid to catch you when the world began, before the granite foundation. I too have tasted the sweet bait, but you are the luckier. No one came home to me to say there are no whips beyond death, but only memory. And that can be endured. The room was quiet a moment, and Tamar heard the wind moving outdoors. Then the idiot, Ginny Caldwell, whose mind had been from birth a crippled bird, but when she was 12 years old, her mind's cage was covered utterly, like a bird cage covered with its evening cloth when lamps are lighted, and her memory skipped the more than 40 years between, but caught stray gleams of the sun of childhood. She and her crumpled voice, I'd rather play with Helen. Go away, Stella. Stella pinches me. Lily laughs at me. Lily and Stella are not my sisters. Ginny, Ginny, said the old man, shaking like a thin brick house wall in an earthquake. Do you remember Ginny? Ginny don't like the old man, she answered. Give me the star, give me the star. She whined, stretching from bed to reach the candle. Why have they taken my little star? Helen would give it to Ginny. Then Stella, waking from the trance, sighed and arose to quiet her, according to her night's habit. Tamar said, You were screaming in your sleep. I had great visions, and I have forgotten them. There, Jenny, there, there. It'll have the candle, will it? Pretty Jenny. We'll have candle tomorrow. Little Jenny, let Aunt Stella sleep now. Old Caldwell, tottering, went to his room. Then Tamar said, You were talking about his sister Helen, my Aunt Helen. You never told me about her. She has been dead for 40 years. What should we tell you about her? Now, little Ginny, pretty sister. And laying her hands upon the mattress of the bed, the old woman cradled it up and down, humming a weary song. Tamar stood vainly waiting the sleep of the monstrous babe. At length, because it would not sleep, went to her room and heard it gurgle and whimper an hour, and the tired litanies of the lullabies, not quiet till daylight. And that's all for now. Goodbye, bros. Goodbye. Goodbye.